your happy, smiling faces out there. Today I'd like to talk with you about a different perspective. Because sometimes in the world today we notice that there are always two sides to the coin, right? Depending upon how you look at things. Some of us look at things in a certain way. That's okay, and that has to do with our upbringing and the experiences that we've had in life and how we've been taught to look at things, right? Because it starts when we're very young. How are you looking at the world? How are you viewing things? Do you view it from a positive, or do you view it from a negative? We know that there are many people who have overcome monumental obstacles. Helen Keller, who couldn't see, couldn't hear. Listen to all the things that she has done. I saw an article on a lady who was a surfer. This will make sense to you because you live in Florida. And she had her arm bitten off by a shark when she was surfing. Still moving around, doing those things in earth, because she had a goal that she wanted to fulfill, and it was inside of her. It didn't matter what her physical body was. It's that she held on tight to that principle. That inner self within her that keeps us moving forward. Because you see, we are not this body. We are so much more. We are part of spirit. And I would be remiss if I didn't speak with you a little bit about modern spiritualism, because this is the birth month of modern spiritualism. March 31st, 1848. And I want to talk with you about the science, philosophy, and religion from a different perspective. Those of you who have been in a spiritualist church are very familiar with those and that date. And the first one is science. We're not just a religion that says, oh, just believe what we say is true. Because that's just how it is. We have science to back us up. And if you go way back to March 31st, 1848, this science was proven by two little girls. 9 and 12, 9 and 11, depending upon what you read. And those little girls are the ones who started to research what was going on. Because it was affecting them, right? It was in their bedroom. They felt the cold hands touching them. They felt the noises. They heard the bed move. All of these things were these two little girls. Not some scientist in a laboratory under strict study conditions. No. Two little girls who were communicating with somebody who had passed to the spirit world. So those of you who doubt that you can do that, if two little girls can do it, you can also. And these two little girls, through their testing and verification, found out about this murdered peddler. And not only did they continue to ask, but they found out it could see as well as hear. They were the ones who pursued this communication because they wanted that information of why is this phenomena going on in our home. Their mother, Mrs. Fox at the time, continued that communication, continued the scientific research by setting up affirmative action. 1 for yes, 2 for no. How wonderful it was that this mother had the faith and the trust in those 2 little girls to say, I'm going to listen. Let's figure out what this is. So the scientific research and study began. And there were many notable people who came to the house and were very doubtful and thought, I can't communicate with spirit, this is ridiculous. Lawyers, people who research things, people who reported for newspapers. And they all came and were witness to the scientific proof of communication. We know now that we have many different venues that are studying. Gary Schwartz, who's out in Nevada, the Rhine Institute. There are so many people who are studying this communication. More and more information is out about it now. Why? Because those 2 little girls, they opened that door for us. It is not odd for you to see this on TV now. Many different communication going on. Paranormal groups, paranormal investigators. We have that science. We know. And as is said in our Spiritualist manual, spiritualism is a science, philosophy, and religion. Philosophy. You know, when I was a kid, I used to think, oh gosh, that's just such a heavy thing. I don't know if I really want to delve into philosophy. But as people who study, who love to study what's going on in the universe, the causes, the knowledge of things, what makes things tick. And not only do they find those things out through study, but they implement them into their lives. They live by what they've learned. Now, I know many of you have been on your spiritual growth, and you're learning and you're studying. Let me ask you, have you learned from your studies? Absolutely, because you know what? You can't learn less. You can only learn more. And as you study and open up your mind, look at things from a different perspective. You've all heard that saying, walk in another person's shoe. Because you don't know why they do what they do. They probably don't know why they do what they do. Unless they're on that spiritual growth. Unless they are trying to expand their knowledge and get a different perspective. And look beyond what your eyes see. Because your eyes are only part of it. Because you feel too, don't you? You can feel when somebody's upset. You can feel when they're angry. Right? You can feel when they're happy and when they're joyous. That is inside of you. That is who you are. You can sense things going on in life. You can utilize that information that you gather and improve your perspective. And as Andrew Jackson Davis says, keep an even mind. Is it easy to get swayed? Absolutely. Everybody gets swayed. I don't care how long you've been in this religion. I don't care how long you've been ordained, how long you've been, whatever credentials you hold, you can still be swayed. because it's our human nature, right? It's only when we step back and take a look and know ourselves, improve who you are, know who you are, know your triggers, know what gets you going. Recognize that. That's a different perspective, right? So instead of reacting, you're acting. Because there's only one person who can control you. That's you, in case you aren't aware of that. You are responsible for your actions and reactions. It's that personal responsibility that spiritualism teaches, isn't it? It's one of the good and bad things, right? You can't blame it on somebody else. Oh, it was their fault. Oh, it's the news's fault why I'm so depressed. Oh, it's Susie's fault because she gave me a dirty look. Oh, it's so-and-so Barbara's fault because she just ignores me. It's her fault I'm unhappy. Really? Are you giving your power away? Are you allowing somebody else to change your perspective, change your philosophy? Because once you know that you are pure spirit inside of you, nothing can change that. It doesn't matter what anybody says or does, thinks. Because you are spirit. Now, here. You are the highest vibration of self. But what do? Pile a bunch of stuff on. Ooh, we hold all that stuff from childhood. You're not good enough. You'll never amount to anything. You're dumb. I'd be surprised what you even graduate. What do? We start putting all that on top of ourselves. And what does that do to our perspective? It changes it, right? Because then you start saying to yourself, I can't do that. I'm not worthy. I'm helpless, I'm hopeless. But I'm here to tell you, stop that. That's not moving you closer to your goals. You in this room can do whatever you want to. Honest. Whatever you set your mind on, whatever you focus on, whatever you use your philosophy and understanding of life, that will propel you forward. How blessed we are to be in this religion of spiritualism, because we can learn and grow. We can change. Our principle, the doorway to reformation, is never closed against any soul here or hereafter. And it's easier to learn it here. Because we have tools, we have others to help us. When we get down on ourselves, we have other people to say, hey, come on, you can do this, right? It's your philosophy. It's how you live. Through these proven facts, through science. It's up to you to change your philosophy. It's up to you to change your perspective on life. Nobody can do it for you, but it starts inside. It starts inside. It doesn't start out here. Like I said, you can gain that knowledge and pull it all in. Then you need some time to process it and digest it and work on it. And use that love of knowledge. But knowledge is wonderful, but it's not going to do anything in what? Unless you apply it. Study. Grow yourself. Go in here, work on you. And then it'll shine outwards. It has to. It's the you of who you are. So we've talked about the science. We've talked about the philosophy. Spiritualism is also a religion. Yes, It is a bona fide religion. It's a religion that teaches us about God's laws. You know, the principles that we repeat every morning, the natural laws that some of you really study. And there's even more we don't know about. Those are all ways for us to live our religion. Because it's not what comes out of here, is it? Watch the feet. Watch what people do, because that's who they are. You can talk a good talk, and then go out here and just be very vulgar and saying profanities at people who drive really slow. Your religion doesn't stay in here. It's in here. It is the utilization of the science, philosophy, and religion of spiritualism that helps you be affirmed to that God within, that infinite intelligence, that spark of the divine, because it's in all of you. Even if you don't want it to be, it's still there. And I know most of you want a wonderful, fabulous life. And I know most of you are working on it, because if you weren't, you wouldn't be in this church. Because this is a church about growth and love and support. How blessed we are to have a religion that is based on science and philosophy. Not just woo-woo stuff. Not just, oh, we hope, or, well, we pray, or maybe a miracle will happen. You have to do it. You are your miracle. You shift. You change. You have a different perspective on life. Because I'm going to tell you, when you're out there and people are doing crazy and nutty things, you have no idea what's going on in their life. None. And sometimes their lives have been hard. Sometimes they've had challenges that they just could not overcome. And it's taken them down a different path. But we have that knowledge that we can shift and change that. You can choose whatever path you want. You can choose to remain who you are. Or you can choose to expand your perspective. Look at things differently. Put yourself in their shoes. And even if you can't, part of religion is being compassionate and loving and of service to other humans. It doesn't matter. Just like this church is open to all people. We don't care if you were Catholic or Baptist, or we don't care if you're black, if you're white, if you're gay, if you're straight. We don't care. We love you for who you are. That is true religion. That is a religion that moves beyond these walls and reaches and touches those people who are searching for truth, for meaning in life, beyond the chaos that's going on in that world. Because they have no other knowledge but to buy into that. We know that we are responsible. And we can maintain that divinity, that spark of the divine that is within us. Because it is our choice. It is our personal responsibility. Take a different look at things. Take a different perspective on things. Stretch, grow. That's why you're here, to grow, to learn. Is it easy? Once you start doing it, it is. I challenge each and every one of you. Look at things from a different perspective. Look at this religion as it was meant to be. Those two little girls and those who've gone beyond them have worked so hard to prove that we are connected with Spirit, always, as you are.